Hi guys, we are here to give you many information. Firstly, we will listen to the senator's speech. To address the priority of the debt limit, we have done so because this is about protecting families the failure to lift. The debt limit can result in the loss up to the 6 million jobs, the elimination of $15 trillion in the house for wealthy and wealthy, increase in the cost of loans, car loans, mortgage, student loans, credit card bills, and other borrowing. All action also protects American economy. So we say domestic economic, we are talking domestic. We are talking at kitchen table, and when we talk about the car loans, mortgage, student loans, credit card bills, and active, as well as the job and trillion of dollars in household wealth. In terms of domestic economic right large, all action protects the common preventing deadline in the real GDP of 4% of such an employment rate. As I mentioned, YTB Morgan Chase CL Chem Diamond called a world catastrophe of unbelievable proportions and damage to Americans for 100 years. This is also about the health of the global economic kitchen table, border domestic, national economic, and global economy. A culture of economic advisors has, as stated before, would send shockwaves through the global financial market and could likely cause the creative market worldwide to freeze up and stock markets to plunge. Employers around the world would likely have to begin laying out the workers, thanks to say the 2000 and 2008 financial crises have the severe effect throughout the global economy. Then ricochet back to the Earth's force, causing the film to lay off the workers. Here we are again and cut forward to investment and financial crisis deriving by the default has potential to be even worse. In addition to hitting the global economy, not fully recovered from pandemic. Addressing the debt limit honors our duty to Constitution, 14th Amendment to Section states, and validity of public debt in the United States authorized by law. Shall not the patient? So, my question with the speaker to you is, and to our college, what is it that they have against the family when they want to increase employment, decrease household wealth, and have families charge more and be charged more for car loans, credit card loans, mortgage placement, and other borrowing? Don't you care about that? What do you have against your own economy? Where this catastrophe of unbelievable proportion could have impact for over 100 years, don't you care about that? Also help the global economy, which I described so clearly causing creative market, worldwide and future and stock market to plunge. And employers around the world have to begin laying off the workers again. Coming back to choice. Thirdly, you have respect for a Constitution of the United States to which you take an oath to protect and defend. With the state of validity of the public debt of the United States authorized shall not be questioned. Let's be clear about this means addressing the debt limit. It's not about the future spending, as some have tried to resist. This is about meeting obligations that the government have already incurred, including from bipartisan COVID relief. All legislation passed last year, only 3% of current debt that are crashing here has been incurred during the Biden years. Under President Biden, 3% of what they're talking about here, we are talking about Trump. That incurred, and some of it in bipartisan way to address the COVID crisis, not all. So we honor the gas crisis has been rising across the country, and lawmakers have now proposed a new way to quickly resolve this issue. This is for stimulus check update in daily news support. You want to be sure to stand to the end of this video to find out the most important stimulus check information. So, Trump mentioned is calling on body and to restore the Keystone by line, and the constant gas price across the country begin to rise, and statement mentioned said, I continue to call him President Biden to responsibly increase energy production here at home and reverse, of course, to allow Keystone XL pipeline to be built. The mentioned call for action comes shortly after Biden administration announced applying to Tuesday to relieve 50 million barrels of oil for nation's strategic petroleum reserve. That's done in order to curb rising gas prices. Back in February, Mantra quietly sided with the Republicans, who argued buying to rethink canceling the permit for pipeline. He argued that pipelines across the country continue to be safest mode to transport our oil and natural gas resources, and they support thousands of higher American Union jobs. Mansion also addressed the issue of inflation in the country. Last week, mentoring his belief that Democrats Build Back Better Act, which was recently passed by House and will be taken up the Senate, would not help the lower prices. But it's hard to believe that there are only a few weeks left until the end of the year. Within that time frame, the stimulus check should be sent out. Some new check and payments will come as a surprise to others. Of course, we know like 21st, the Child Tax Credit is coming out on December 15. For some people, December stimulus check might be surprisingly outside, as because it's not very Child Tax Credit coming the next month will be created for the most recipient will be get the same amount. And that comes over the past 5 years totally a few $100 per eligible child. Meanwhile, some families have only just now started to get this check. And if that you sign up on and you sign up by November 15th, IRS going to send you a sort of check to get the check in December. So what took the family sick check to receive will come to learn some payment in December. And the important thing to remember is that yours will still only represent in advance the payment for half of overall child tax credit. The amount that you're eligible for everyone will get the second half next year, as the tax credit when you further income taxes. Florida states like men are also sending out check to president, and that's their one-time payment where $285 is going to more than 500,000 presidents. Those checks are going to wait to the end of the year. Isn't that the same thing with California, where the second goal and say stimulus is being threatened as much as $1,100 available for people to take advantage of the Child and Department of Your tax credit. This is another important tax-related benefit for working families. Essentially, parents were 2021 are eligible to be over-eligible to claim as much as 50% of the child care expenses, or up to $8,000 for most 2 children. But it's not just meant for expense related to children, as name implies. The expenses can also stem from the first parent to another dependent. So starters vary family with the age of no more than $125,000 can get this tax credit. It will cover 50% of qualifying expenses. However, the number dropped 25% of foreign incomes between $125,000 and $183,000. Thank you again for support, everybody. I truly appreciate it. Thank you so much.